Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over how I got my wholesale dealer's license. Now, I'm in the state of Maryland. I don't know what state you're in, but what I'm going to show you pertains to Maryland. Also, this is how I did it. You don't have to do it my way. You don't have to use any of the companies I mentioned. You don't have to fill out the paperwork any way that I show you. It's, you're going to have to figure some of this stuff out on your own. But I am going to show you in detail just how I did it and what I had to do. How I got my license, how I got the tags, insurance, the bond. As far as the location goes, first things first, if you don't have a home office or the ability to have a home office, you're going to have serious problems in Maryland. You have to have a location. I'm not renting anywhere. I have a home office, and your home office has to have a separate entrance. If you can see behind me, separate entrance there. So I'm blessed in that I have a house where I have an office and a separate entrance. You can't see it, but there's a door right here next to me, some French doors that go out into my living room and the rest of my house. So you're going to need that. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible, impractical to get a location just for a wholesale. Now, if you're doing a used car lot or whatever, yeah, that's a whole different story and whatever. But this is just wholesale. Yeah, so let's look at some paperwork. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of the packet. Basically, you're just going to print it out off the website. I'm sure every state might have some example of this. And it shows you a list of the paperwork that you'll need. They don't really need to be in this order, but these are the things you'll need. And there's different things based on whether or not you're doing wholesale, used, or new. Now, starting off here, I just filled it out basically with some fake info, Acme Auto, 123 Annie Street. But the first page that you print out, it's simple. You just follow the instructions. It asks you for your address, put your address. If it asks you for a company name, put a company name. It asks you your name, your social. It's straightforward. Yeah, it's just basic. And you'll see on this page, it's more of just basic information. It just asks you simple questions that are yes or no. You just check yes or no. And see, I'm just going down each one. And just put no, no, no. When you get to the parts where it's asking about the bond or your insurance, those are things that you want to take care of first. You want to take care of getting the bond squared away. You want to take care of getting the insurance squared away. But personally, what I did is I had my site inspected first. I wanted to make sure that my site passed inspection before I signed up for a bond, before I got car insurance, garage keepers insurance and all that stuff for a year. So if you have a home office or a site, get that inspected first and just get it cleared. That's my advice. Just get that taken care of first. Of course, before they come out and they inspect, they're going to see some effort on your part, I'm sure. So I attended the orientation first. You'll see that in the paperwork where you have to attend an orientation up in the actual headquarters of the NBA. I'm not sure how it works in your state. Now you see here I'm pointing to the surety bond. I'm going to show you the company I used. I just found them on the internet, called them up, and that's who I went through. Maybe next year when my bond is up, maybe I'll find another company because maybe I can find it cheaper. I don't know. I just know this is the first company I spoke to. They handled everything. Everything worked perfectly. Also, there's a sheet that has to be notarized from these guys. They already have that. You just tell them what state that you need the bond for, and they take care of everything. They mail you the paperwork, everything you need to provide up. Now, as far as insurance goes, workman's comp. Workman's comp is a pain in the ass. I don't know how it works in your state, but in Maryland, it sucks. I had to call these people. I had to send them letters. I had to do a lot to get basically a certificate from them saying that I don't need workman's comp because I'm just a sole proprietor. If you're going to have employees, you need workman's comp. That's a whole other thing you're going to have to do a lot of research on. I can't really help you too much there. I just can tell you that you'll have to call them in person and speak to them a lot and interact with workman's comp. Now, I just put 2 there because that's what I did. I got two tags, and I'll show you the insurance company that I used. And it's another thing, just on the internet, I called around. Lots of insurance places, they can't offer the type of insurance you need for dealer tags. It takes, it's like a special company that specializes in insurance. It's not like you can call Progressive, you can't call Geico, you can't call those people to get the kind of insurance that you need. So you have to do some internet search. See, I'm just showing, basically what you would do is you would just fill all this crap out and then mail it away. I'm just showing where you would fill it out. And I sent my packet off, I think, twice, and it came back because it was missing things. Now, if you're going to do wholesale, you need a bond of $15,000. If you're going to do between 1 and 250 cars. My bond cost me $380 for the year. It's based on your credit. I don't know. It's based on a bunch of other factors, I guess. Also, you're going to do tags. Tags are $100 a year. 100 for 2 years. Also, the fee has changed. It's not $450 in Maryland anymore. It's $675. That changed June 1st. So you got to do 3 years of licensing. See on the sheet there it says 2 year. Well, no, it's 3 years now. So it's $675. So out of pocket, it starts to add up. It does, especially the insurance. The insurance is probably the most expensive part. I had to kick out $800 cash, and now it's like $150 monthly now. But whatever. Yeah, this sheet here is just for the orientation, where you just fill it out and you send that away, and then they'll contact you and give you a time and a date when to attend. And there's a bunch of people there when you go and attend. It's a room's full of people. Everybody's, some people are wholesale. A lot of tag and title people are there. Used dealers there. All kinds of stuff. A whole bunch of people there. Not a lot of wholesalers, because wholesaling is really not that. It's really hard, but whatever. Oh yeah, this is for your site. If you have a home office or whatever, basically they have to come out and check all this stuff off. And it's basic. It's like, if you have a home, you can't have a home office that's, got like a sheet hanging up separating it from the rest of the house. It's got to literally be a separate room. And it's got to have, lighting and heat and electricity and all that stuff. And that's just for Maryland. Your state could be different. But yeah, I passed the inspection the first time the guy came out. I had all that squared away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm on this sheet for so long, but also, you have to have a business phone. I had to call Verizon. They had to come out and give me a landline. I signed up for, the business internet and phone. It's $90 a month. But it's, the business phone line, it's the business internet and all that stuff. But, it's part of the, it's the cost. It's not cheap, I did the math, and you can see my dirty fingers there. I was working on the car earlier. I didn't scrub my hands good enough. But, it costs. I did the cost. The upfront cost is probably about $3,000. And then the running cost, as far as after the first year, is probably about $800 a year to keep it up. It's probably about what it'll cost for the license. Yeah, there's the piece of paper, the bond. The bond company will have this paper. Even though you printed it, don't worry about it. They have that. They'll put the little seal there. They'll sign it all, do all that stuff, and give you that sheet. And that sheet will come filled out from the company, and then you send that off with your packet. So you won't really have to worry about that sheet right there. And then this is, what sheet is this? Oh, the zoning. Yes, I did have to go to the local government building, apply for the zoning to make sure it was all squared away. It cost me like $130. Applied for it, got that approved, and then Had to go back up there a couple weeks later and have somebody there fill out the bottom of the sheet to say that I had gone through the proper channels to have the zoning properly done, so that I could have this type of business here. You have to have a type of storage location too. Yeah, if you're going to keep it somewhere, off your property, you have to let them know where you're going to keep cars. That's just for the MVA. And then the zoning, the zoning guy will fill that out. That's your local government building. You just go there wherever your county headquarters is. This piece of paper, just if you're going to do wholesale, basically says what hours you're going to be working, what hours you're going to be available. And I just put 8 to 12. It's got to be 20 hours a week. When you read this sheet, it's got to be, you've got to be available to have your records inspected at least 20 hours a week. And I have mine in a day. Between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. every day I'm available. I'm just curious how it is in other states. I just know this is Maryland, and I would assume Maryland's probably one of the harder states because everything in this state is freaking ridiculous to do. More like the East Coast California. Everything's a pain in the ass here. Yeah, there you go. See, it's just, that's what works for me. Whatever works for you works for you. But it's got to be 20 hours a week, and you can see that written on that sheet there. This is another thing, just telling you that if you're wholesaling, you can't sell to the public. So everybody knows that, though. If you wholesale, you can't sell to the public. You have to get a dealer's license, or like a used dealer or a new car dealer if you want to sell to the public. Because if you're wholesale, you can only sell to other dealers or at other auctions and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll fill all that out, you'll sign all that, send it in with your packet. And like I said, don't worry if your packet, if you send it in and it gets rejected the first time. They mail it back to you and tell you what they need, and then you fix it and you mail it back. But of course, it just makes everything drag out and makes the process just that much longer. And then this will be for your background check. You'll just photocopy your license right there and onto that sheet, and then then send them a sheet that had your license photocopied on it for, I guess, the background check. So assuming you're not a felon or something, I don't know what the requirements are or what they would approve or not approve, but whatever, it's part of it. So that's pretty much the packet. Now I'll show you, that's what I paid for the bond. You can see the cost, and that's pretty much my receipt, and that's the company I used. So if you're looking for one, I guess use them. They work for me. There's my trader's license. You have to have a business license. That's the one I got from my county. It cost me $22. You get that at your local government building, whatever county you're in. That's the insurance company I use. There's the cost for my insurance. There's the provider. There's my payment amounts, my first due dates, all that stuff. I don't mind showing all that stuff because nobody ever shares this stuff. Nobody ever gives you an idea of what stuff's going to cost. It's a big secret. There's my actual wholesale license I got. I blocked out all my personal information on these sheets because I'm just not sure if I want to put the actual name of my dealership out and all that stuff, and my address, because it is my home address too. So, and then there's my dealer plate, and then I got 2 of those. So anyway, so there you go. There's some of it. So with me having my wholesale's license, I'm hoping that I can have better content for the channel. Yeah, so with me having my wholesale license, I'm hoping to have better content for the channel. I'm hoping that I can start attending auctions, start going to Copart, looking at cars. It's going to be a couple months, though, before I actually buy anything. I have a lot of research to do, a whole bunch of learning to do. I'm still filling out paperwork for Copart. I'm still doing stuff for them, and then IAA, and it's a lot of little things that I'll try to go over and put on the channel if you're interested and see that stuff.